All right. "85-year-old man shortness of breath. Past medical history, cabbage 10 years ago, dementia and IHD, ischemic heart disease, bilateral crackles, raised JVP, peripheral edema. That is the ECG. List two symptoms that differentiate heart failure from CPD. Let me tell you guys one thing. When there is an easy diagnosis, that simply means that the examiner is not asking you the diagnosis because diagnosis has already been given. So my questions start after the diagnosis. List two symptoms that differentiate heart failure from COPD. Right. Aslam, I expect this from you to tell us what is the difference between heart failure and COPD. In COPD, you have warm peripheries and there is no peripheral edema if there is no cor pulmonale. However, in heart failure, you have bilateral crackles, you can have cold hands and peripheral edema, orthopnea, PND. What three questions will you ask to assess the severity of the heart failure? Right. Is that what three questions will you ask to assess severity of the heart failure? How far can you walk? Dyspnea score. Yeah, someone said dyspnea score. Spot on. Nawal, how much can you walk? Functional disability, correct. Activity level, correct. PND, correct. Okay, I think that enough. We need to move on. Describe the X-ray. Please, can someone give me what did you see on that X-ray? Quick one. So that is actually your pulmonary edema, cardiomegaly. There are some cabbage evidence, right? Pulmonary edema, correct. What does the ECG show? What was there on the ECG? Atrial fibrillation. Name two drugs that improve mortality in CCF. Beta blockers, ACE inhibitors. Correct, correct. Beta blockers and ACE. How would you treat acute pulmonary edema? Right, okay. Let me show you how you manage pulmonary edema. Oxygen, IV diuretics, morphine, GTN spray, CPAP, if they are desaturating, NIV, if they are in type 2 failure, intra-aortic balloon pumping, that is all ITU stuff. Inotrope, again, ITU stuff. So that is your management of pulmonary edema. Remember that you will always start with oxygen. Do not say uncommon things to start with. Always start with the common things which you can do on the bedside. Okay, moving on. 55-year-old male found to be hypertensive in GP surgery. This was the ECG. What does this ECG show? Easy one. Nawal, I expect you to tell me what does this ECG show? Strain pattern, Muhammad Tahir, correct. So, and this is your ST changes non-specific, and I will show you, and this big R wave, big S wave and big R waves. So what advice you will give to this patient? Lifestyle. What is a first-line drug? What is a first-line drug? ACE inhibitor, I'm not sure. I don't agree with that, Tahir. ACE inhibitor if the patient is young. Calcium channel blockers are the first line drugs. Someone said calcium channel if the patient, actually Nawal, you're spot on. If is the patient younger than 55 or if the patient is bigger than 55. Let's say that this patient is younger. What will you give, Nawal? So basically, your age will tell you. The digoxin we don't give in hypertension, sorry. What are the ECG findings? That is your atrial fibrillation. What are the complications of hypertension? So this is another ECG of hypertension. Reversed Harkey stick pattern. This is reversed Harkey. Big S waves and big R waves. Left ventricular hypertrophy. Tahir, thank you. So common complications of hypertension, right? The commonest complication of hypertension is stroke. The second common complication is stroke. The third common complication of hypertension is stroke. So then renal failure, cardiovascular like MI and heart failure, retinopathy and erectile dysfunction, very uncommon. Transient ischemic attacks, Aisha, thank you, that is correct. So basically that comes into the category of a stroke. Right, okay. Slightly more challenging question. Who can offer me the diagnosis here? And what treatment will you give? So you will give treatment only if you get the diagnosis right. What is the treatment you are offering to this diagnosis? So basically the examiner is asking two questions in one. What is the correct treatment? Nawal, Tahir, Huria, all your question answers are correct. Basically, this is WPW. This is your short interval here. Accessory pathway ablation, correct. This is WPW syndrome. It is very common in exam, very prevalent. Okay, so just a brief reminder to your normal electric conduction. This is your AV node, and this is your left bundle branch, and this is your right bundle branch. In WPW, you can see this accessory pathway in here. Okay, moving on. Right. Answer, please. You are a junior doctor working in the emergency department. A nurse asks you to look at the admission ECG from a recent admission. What is the diagnosis? Is far too long for the answer. What is the diagnosis? I don't see any ST elevation anywhere. Maybe in here. Yes, you're right. So that is ST elevation. So this is answer is E, ST elevation myocardial infarction in here and feeder wall. Sajid Yad seems to agree with me. Thank you. Okay, next one. 75-year-old woman brought in ED by ambulance at 4 a.m. She is very breathless but denies pain. She has a previous history of CCF and is being managed by his GP. What two signs may you find on examination in LVF? What are the two signs in LVF? JVP is not raised in LVF. We are talking about JVP is a sign of right heart failure, unless it is a biventricular failure. Pulmonary edema, yes. So what will be the two signs? Increased workload of breathing, so this patient will be short of breath. Excessive muscle use, bilateral basal crepitations, gallop rhythm, dull percussion to lung bases, maybe. Give two signs that you might find in this patient with right ventricular failure. Give two signs you may find in patients with right ventricular failure. That is your raised JVP, peripheral edema, and ascites and hepatomegaly, maybe, depending. What two features might you look for on a chest X-ray of this patient to confirm a diagnosis of heart failure? Two features you might look for on a chest X-ray for CCF. So that is your correct answer. Cardiomegaly, curly B lines. Yes, someone said CTR. That is correct. Tahir, thank you. And bat wing appearance, correct. Bat wing edema, dilated upper lobe vessels, and pleural effusions. You may have some of these, or you may have all of these. This patient is clogged, admitted. What initial treatment might the attending doctor prescribe to provide immediate relief to this patient? Give 4 answers. How are you treating? I think I should give you the answer quickly, right? Oxygen, morphine, loop diuretics, furosemide, GTN spray. So this is your treatment. Someone has written ABGs. Well, you can do that. Right. Can someone help me to understand these X-rays, please? Cardiomegaly, massive cardiomegaly, upper lobe diversion, right? There is some pleural effusion here, some pleural effusion there, and this is a big heart here. Again, there is a big heart, and this is bat wing appearance, basically. Okay. Same question. This patient is eventually discharged home as she improves. What 4 drugs will be appropriate to use to treat her cardiac failure in the community? What 4 drugs you might consider to give this patient of CCF? Now, you have made the diagnosis, you have given the acute treatment. What 4 drugs you might be able to consider? So this is your answer. Remember, these are the 4 drugs: diuretics, then RASI, beta blockers, and MRA like spironolactone and eplerenone. Agreed? So diuretics and your renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system inhibitor, beta blockers and MRA, spironolactone, and kind of drugs, right? Okay, next question. Please read, right? And then we will find the answers. What is the answer? Please read and give me the answer. This time, I'm not reading it for you. You read it. Someone said D. Sajid Muhammad Tahir. I think that you got it right. Absolutely spot on. This is prolonged QT interval, right? Which is long. So when QT interval is prolonged, you don't give erythromycin class. Thank you. Moving on. Right. Okay. I think that it is 10:30. As we planned our day, that we will stop here. Please have your cup of tea. What time you want to come back? So, I mean, obviously, I'm keen to cover as much as we can. So should we have 15-minute break or half an hour break? Someone said 20 minutes, someone said 15 minutes. Right, okay. Most people say 15 minutes. Most people say 15 minutes. I think that, okay, well, let's make it 20 minutes, please, because it is somewhere between. So I'll come back in 20 minutes time. And Lareb, please bear with us. Let's do 20-minute break. You need to come back a little bit early. And we will continue. I think our next system will be gastroenterology. Razia, see you shortly.